Hi everyone, I'm Nicole Mueller, and in this presentation I'm going to be telling you a bit about the placements I got to experience this semester. As you can probably figure from the slide, one of them was at Mind to Muscle. I did a majority of my hours here and it was amazing. It's located here in Barrie on the south end, and I posted a link if anyone would like to check it out. There wasn't too much of a process to obtain my placement there. Luckily, I know someone that works there and they were kind enough to recommend me to the main manager, Julie. All I did was email her with a cover letter and my resume, and then she contacted me for an interview where she decided if I was a good fit. Then we proceeded with an orientation, and then I started my work. So, considering I'm only a second year fitness and health student, Julie didn't expect me to have many certifications or experience in the industry. She mostly based the requirements off of how knowledgeable I was in the fitness and health industry already, for example, programming, training, and anatomy, and then my willingness to learn more overall. Since becoming a student at Georgian College 2 years ago, I've managed to make it on the Dean's List every semester. This is one of my favorite goals to meet every semester, as it reminds me that I'm smarter than I think I am and that I know what I'm doing, and it gives me more confidence when I'm relaying the information I've learned to others. At the beginning of this school year, I wanted to get a job within the fitness and health industry, but since I've decided I want to continue with school, I don't know if taking on a job in the fitness and health industry would be wise, as it requires a lot more work. So in order to keep me from becoming overwhelmed, I've decided to just forget about this goal for now and come back to it later when I'm done school. Throughout my time at my placements, I've been able to make a lot of connections with clients and other trainers. Many people I've met have expressed interest in having me train them and come up with programs for them, or even have me work for them eventually. So I am really excited to get my certification because I know I have all these doors open to me now because of the connections I've made. Because of the fitness appraisal and testing courses, I feel really ready to get my CSEP certification, and thankfully I'm on track to obtaining it. I would really like to get this by the end of the year just so I can start training and getting more experience and continue to expand my client database. All year I've been going back and forth whether or not I should continue with school, and I applied to Guelph Humber for the bridge kinesiology program just in case I decided to, and thank goodness I did because I've now accepted and I'm starting there this May, and I'm so excited to do that and further my education. Because of my placement opportunities, I've become way more confident in my training abilities, and I've been able to implement my in-class knowledge into real situations, which has been so great. And I've also been able to make so many connections with clients and people in the fitness and health industry, which I know will help me so much later on in my career. A couple highlights from my placement were the people I met, coworkers, and clients. It honestly made working there so much more fun. Also, learning the physio rehab aspect of training as well as the strength conditioning and sport specific, it just opened my eyes that there's more than just general population training and made it way more fun for me. Compared to my placement last year, I had way more responsibilities at Mind to Muscle. They let me program, they let me train, I assisted coaches any way I can. I cleaned when it wasn't busy. I also had weekly assignments to keep me thinking, and I also did some administrative duties like filing, discharging, just regular things like that. I wouldn't say I missed out on too many opportunities, but I will say that if I had more confidence when I started this placement, I would have gained a lot more experience training clients and programming, which I personally lack a lot of confidence in and could have greatly benefited from more experience doing this. So by coming to this placement, I've decided to continue with school. I realized I really do want to become more knowledgeable in the human body, how it moves. And I've also realized that I know a lot more than I think I do, and to just trust my gut because I really do know what I'm doing because this program has prepared me so well for this. A couple recommendations for Mind to Muscle. Honestly, if you had the opportunity to go there, I would because I actually learned things and I didn't just clean, whereas other placements, you usually just end up with the mop all day. So Julie really made a point to make sure I left every shift learning something new. I know at a lot of placements, you usually feel like you're wasting your time because you're not being paid and you're not doing much. But here, I felt so fulfilled every time I went in. And I felt like I was never wasting my time because I was always learning, I was always doing things, I was always making connections with other people. It was honestly really great. So alongside being able to go to Mind to Muscle, I also had a placement with Kohler Kinesiology. Here I did WFX Fit assessments, and we did these at multiple locations. I went to Aurelia, London, Lindsay, some other places. I also put the link here if you want to look it up. It's actually Matt Kohler, our program coordinator. It's really great. So again, the process wasn't too much because I've been a student of Matt's. He knows I'm a good student. He knows I work really hard, and I already had the position from last year, and I worked really well with him. I learned a lot. So all I had to do was tell him that I was still interested in assisting, and I was able to get my position back. So a little about what I learned while I was working for Kohler Kinesiology. It showed me there was a lot more to fitness and health industry than just training. I actually really enjoyed doing the assessments, and I realized I love motivating the candidates and running them through them. I also got to learn a lot about blood pressure and heart rate through the pre-screening process. Honestly, if you have the opportunity to do this with Matt, I would, because I learned a lot and it proved my skills greatly with blood pressure taking, heart rate, and just client counseling as a whole. I also was able to make some really good connections, and I got to have like an on-hand tutor at all times. So to wrap up my presentation, my goals have been revamped but are still on track to being accomplished and better than they were when they started. This semester left me feeling a lot more prepared for the future and a lot more confident in myself and my abilities. And it gave me a lot more insight to the opportunities in the fitness and health field. And I'm really excited for the future.